Hello and welcome to a Film Mixologist, the place on the internet thingy where the most common faults of carburetors are revealed. Case in point, this unit here. This is a carburetor that a customer sent in, and customer states that the carb was flooding fuel, and it was, well, unsafe basically, and you can smell it from here. But actually, I'm going to show you something really interesting here, that the customer sent me a short video of this unit actually working in the car. So it was running the car, obviously not with the fuel pump pumping fuel into the unit, but actually it was working, which is crazy. I'll show you a bit closer what I mean by it. Okay, so first of all, note that the choke is in not that great condition. And note here that there's a fair bit of corrosion pretty much everywhere in this unit. The primary shaft is okay, but then if we turn it around, the whole unit looks to be in some sort of distress, and somebody has done a kind of Heath Robinson choke modification here. Again, this is quite mangled, so obviously this unit is gonna need a fair bit of work. But for the purposes of this video, what I want to do more than anything is to diagnose what happens with fuel overload and what would be the normal causes of it. So what I need to do now is I need to take the fuel bolts off. Obviously I need to rebuild the whole car, but I need to take the fuel bolts off, and therefore we can diagnose the problem there and then. Okay, so now I've got the two fuel bowls disassembled. There you go, like so. And so here are the two elements. So the first thing that you need to do is always test the float to see if the float is if it has a puncture. So the way you do it is you dunk it in water and you see whether there is any bubbles that are coming out from the fuel filter. That will give you the indication that the fuel filter, that the fuel float is broken. Let's test this other one, and you turn around. There isn't. The other thing that you can diagnose very quickly is if you take the float out and you shake it a bit and you can hear liquid inside of it, then that's a dead giveaway that the float is not working properly. On this particular occasion, I think the culprit is more the needle and seats, because generally what tends to seal them is this O-ring, and I can see in both these cases that this O-ring is in a really bad shape. You can see it there. This is all crumbling. So therefore I think the problem was more the O-rings, and also the fact that it needed quite a lot of cleaning as well. But that's by the by. Okay, so we're a few weeks later now, the first recording, and now it comes the time that I need to test this fuel bolts, because remember, the main problem with this unit was the customer said that it was leaking fuel, it wasn't holding it up, so therefore we need to test it. The way I do it is by using a vacuum pump and using the fuel bolt. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring the camera kind of closer to here, and I'm going to perform the process on these two separate bowls for you to have an idea of what it's like. Okay, so let's start with the secondary fuel bowl, and the process is relatively simple. So you just put you just put your vacuum pump here, you give it a couple of pumps, and when it starts getting vacuum and it holds the vacuum as it's doing now, then that means you're golden. That's it, done. Bosh. So, and the same process is repeated with this one. Now I've realized that I've got a little bit of a kerfuffle with this Jubilee clip here, because you know it's in the way, and I'm going to explain why it's in the way in a minute. So if I put it there like so, now I can repeat the same process, which is basically putting the pump on the main inlet if you want, but I need to cover with my finger here, which is the passage that equalizes. And same procedure, give it a couple of pumps, hold your finger, yep, it's holding pressure, that's it, done. So now that I've done this, what I need to do is actually build up the whole carb, which I've got all the other sub-assemblies, so I'm going to do it now. So this is going to bring us to the end of this particular rebuild, and I need to show you a couple of things that I had to do with this carb. Is that I had to, unfortunately, the primary shaft, it didn't make it because it was too bent. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but in here there is a pronounced bend on the shaft, so that's not going to work. So so I put a good used one in there, so that it might kind of live again. But other than that, and the other thing that I did discuss with the customer is that I was going to eliminate the choke, and when you do that, it's very important that you close off this passage right here, which I'm pointing out there. It's very important that you block that off, because if not, it creates a vacuum leak. But other than that, now this unit, I mean, this unit was in pretty rough shape when it came, and now is in really good condition, ready to be installed in the car. Put some fuel, off you go, kind of thing. So I want to say thank you very much for watching this episode. If you've got any questions or comments, just put it down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode. Next week on Fridays I always released another episode in English, and on Tuesdays in Spanish if you wanna. But I want to say thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, put them down, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.